everybody. It is January the 5th, 2020. The first Wrestleview Weekly of the year, of the 2020, of the decade. Oh boy, it's going to be kind of a doozy. Believe me, it is. I am Doug Lackey, veteran columnist of Wrestleview.com and co-host of Wrestleview Live, alongside the effervescent editor-in-chief of Wrestleview.com, Mike Tedesco, where we cover all of the major WWE pay-per-views immediately following them right here on the Wrestleview YouTube channels. Yes, today is going to be a, wow, my shirt looks weird. I don't know. My shirt looks very purpley and weird, and I don't like it. I'm just going to go all black today. Pardon me. Going to pull off sexy times. There we go. Show y'all some boob right there. It's already starting off to be a great show. Can't you tell? My hair looks great. My shirt did look great at one point, but hey, who cares? There we go. On the show today, we finally get to talk about some television because we actually had live airing versions of the Raw and the SmackDown. Man, this shirt. I am incredibly black now. Man, these shirts. I may have to change that in a little bit. But yeah, we're going to go over the Raw and the SmackDown from last week. Lots of people returning. Lots of people getting off the milk carton who have been on there for a very, very long time. People revealing themselves after saying they're going to have a makeover. People coming back, to just show up and say hi. Lots of stuff happening on the show, on those two shows. Some news coming down the wire. There is apparently some kind of Kingdom of Wrestling going on in Japan. And so we might talk about that. I kind of have a little bit of running commentary when it comes to New Japan Pro Wrestling, so we might talk about that a little bit. Also, the milk carton, even though people have left the WWE milk carton, there are still tons more people that are on it this time around, so really going to be going over that. And finally, it was a valiant effort on my part last week to go over every single WWE pay-per-view from the last decade. It was a valiant effort, but we made it all the way to the final 2 years. And so I figure we'll go ahead and we'll go over those last 2 years of 2018, 2019 to help you all forget, remember, relapse, maybe. Who knows? Make you have some feelings. I don't know. But until then, if you are in the chat room now, you say, wee! If you're not, there's not a damn thing I can do about it. I see the incredibly awesome Nafisa Dot in there. Don't forget, you're supposed to contact me over the Twitter, dude. I need a co-host for the go-home episode of Royal Rumble predictions, and you're supposed to be making them for me. I see a Mickey. I see Mashoon. I saw Lewis. Who else is in there? Hello, Dougamania says the Mashoon. Wee! Who else is in there? Come on. Who else is in there? Mickey says the Kingdom of Wrestling was awesome. Sure. Okay. Cool. I want to talk a little bit about New Japan and Wrestle Kingdom. Just so, coming from the perspective of someone who considers themselves more of a casual wrestling fan, and that's me, I know even though, Doug, you're on Wrestleview.com, you're supposed to cover all the wrestling and yada, yada, yada. Well, you keep yourself sane by not watching too much, and you have little refreshers, things to cleanse your palate. That's what NWA Power has been for me. In New Japan Pro Wrestling, at a time before coming onto the YouTubes, was also one of those as well. And so I kind of want to touch a little bit on New Japan and the Wrestle Kingdom. Though I don't really know a whole lot about what's been going on in there, it'll be interesting to kind of just get my little takes on the fly. Michael Network said thoughts on the IWGP Intercontinental title. you just found out I may not have a whole lot because ignorance is bliss, but I want to learn more. I'm open-minded about it. So, I'm not going to poop on it or anything like that. I'm just going to learn a little bit more. And I understand that our effervescent editor-in-chief covered all 2 nights of Wrestleview of the Wrestling Kingdom. A daunting task for what time it was airing in comparison to Eastern Standard Time and Japanese and time over there. So, yeah. Going to talk a little bit about that. Oh, Mickey and Michun brought up, the sources. So, last week, we dipped into the glorious Founders Brewery KBS Kentucky Breakfast Stout, espresso flavored, which was magnificent. We almost tucked into 3 whole bottles of that during the show, and you could tell it was wearing on me. Okay? And also, got to let you know, I still owe 3 locked picks that failed from the previous pay-per-view, so I owe 3 shots of the Luna Azul Blanco tequila. 3 shots of this I still have yet to take, but I'm not taking them today. Not taking them today because the sources, oh boy, these sources are these are going to be very interesting for you to see. The sources are going to be very interesting. So, first off, we will be pouring them into the chalice of truth. That's what this is. This is the chalice of truth. Okay, and they are inside. I don't want to, and the reason, well, first off, they're in my growler that I got over at my grocery store, just right next door that I used to work at. I don't anymore. But inside this growler are the sources. They come from D9 Brewery. D9 Brewery, just down the road, 10 miles from me in Cornelius, North Carolina. World-renowned for their sours. I love sour beers. And D9 make fantastic sours. And this one is without exception. From D9, this is from their Defying Gravity sour line, called Impossible Improbability, is what it is. Did I say that? No, Infinite Improbability. Defying Gravity by D9, Infinite Improbability is what this is called. I'm reading right off of the description of the beer for you here. Consider, if the human palate was the vast void of space, what would it take to instantly guide the senses to an entirely different galaxy of flavor? Perhaps the answer lies in the marvelous and mysterious purple potato, itself resembling a strange, uncharted world. Our latest high-gravity head trip is a sour ale as exciting and experimental as interstellar travel, and it's sure to transport you through a whimsical wormhole to deliciously flipped-out flavors. I've already had some of this earlier this week. It is fantastic, but the reason it's in the growler and I'm going to pour it into the glass is you have to see the color of this beer, because it is from the purple potato. And so when you think about it, if you've ever seen a purple potato, or, hey, there's Lewis, wee! So purple potatoes are, like small red potatoes, a little smaller, but they're kind of, they're purplish in hue, but they also kind of tend like a dark blue, okay? Randy in the chat room says, wee! So a purple potato has more of a dark blue hue. Now imagine in a beer, where a beer is normally like a yellow tint, a dark yellow, or if we want to get red ales and browns and stouts, yada, yada, yada. But sours tend to have like a very light tint to them. So, a purple potato sour, I think it would look something like this. This is the color of the beer. It is a green. It is a green beer. Purely green. See, look at that, the little bubbles coming up through there. That's so cool. There you go. It's a very light sour. Okay, when you think sour beer, you're really puckering your lips. It's a very light sour beer. Very, very tasty. Very, very dangerous. I say dangerous because it's a 14 ABV. Oh boy. Oof. This is going to be a good show, people. Daniel in the chat room says, wee. Ah, man. And D9's Defying Gravity line of sours is fantastic, okay? So, if you're ever in the Carolinas, my favorite breweries to look up are D9, Noda, OMB. Those are the big three to me. OMB's Copper Red Ale is a fantastic red ale. It's a good low 6. You'll love it. Noda makes some of the best IPAs imaginable. Daniel asking, what was the ABV? The ABV of this bad boy is a 14. And D9 makes the most fantastic sours you'll ever have. And they also have a really good IPA called Hakuna Matata, which is a good 6.2, I think. It's a 6.2. But, damn, man, this is some good stuff right here. Yes. And it's green. Again, if you didn't see it, look, it's a green beer. Purely green. It's like a neon green almost. And I hold it up there so you see yeah. Yeah, I couldn't drink this out of the growler because I got to show off this tint, you know. And the grocery store was going hard on their beers this week, guys. Of the 8 beers they had on tap, 3 of them were 11 ABV or above. So, I hope everyone had a fantastic New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Oh my God, mine hurt. New Year's Eve, we went to Irish pub over in Huntersville, good 15 miles away. No, we did not drive. No, we did not drive home. We got a cab. Went to an Irish pub, $80 a head. Big spread of food. Everything from French bread pizza to lobster mac and cheese to all kinds of good stuff. But the $80 also covered open bar. All you could drink. So, Deanna and I tucked into as many Jack and Cokes as we could to get our $80 worth. Oh, we felt it the next day. I slept almost all of New Year's Day. It was rough. It was very, very rough. But here we are. We've recuperated. We have rehabilitated, all to tuck back into this monstrosity. All right. Enough of that. So, yeah, on the show, go over the TVs, go over the news, big milk carton, and pick up where we left off with the last 2 years of pay-per-views for the WWE in the 2010s, as well as, again, kind of touch a little bit on the Kingdom of Wrestling that's been happening. So we got to talk about that. But before we do all of that, ding dong, the wedding bells are gonna chime. Somebody's getting married. Somebody's getting married. I'm thinking of Muppets Take Manhattan and that song, Somebody's Getting Married. All right. Coming to you. The final Raw of 2019. We got a wedding that's supposed to be happening between Lana and Bob Lashley. And holy heck, what is going on in this picture? I have no idea what's happening in this picture. No clue whatsoever. Start off the show. Kevin Owens goes to the ring. He's calling out everybody. Seth Rollins and AOP make their way to the ring. Geez, Kevin, you never learn. Then out comes Samoa Joe. And so, we have stuff is happening. Samoa Joe coming down, and he says no to Akam. He says no to Razar. No. So, no. So, yeah. Mashun saying a Liv Morgan sighting. Yes, there was. Sasha Banks in the chat room. You damn well know how you're supposed to introduce yourself. It's not just by saying hello. Okay? You know the drill. You know what you're supposed to say when you come into my chat room. All right. I got to prepare myself because here we go. All right, here we go. I'm trying to remember what the verdict was when, when we do the wheeze. It's the size of the body, the kind of vocal tone that you get when you do the wee. So, how are we doing this? Kevin Owens is on the top rope, and he goes, wee. No, yeah, that's right. He's on the top, wee. Onto a bunch of guys, wee. There's got to be at least like 8 or 9, wee. There's about 8 or 9 guys down there, wee. I think Akam and Rosario were down there, wee. Why is there a guy, wee, in the ring holding up his arms, wee. Oh my God, there's a fat man, wee. Why is he doing this? He's a whack, wee. All right. Yeah, I don't get why there's a guy, oh my God, there's a 300-pound guy jumping off the wee. A face Samoa Joe would be cool, says Sasha Banks. Well, we could almost say that Samoa Joe could be a face in this situation. Maybe. I don't know. Some people saying that he's a tweener. I don't know. Samoa Joe being a tweener in this situation, I'm not sure. I think it's just a face that he's aligning with Kevin Owens, but after that, who the heck knows? Best we of 2020 so far, Mickey? Yeah, I think so. Well, no, we're going to get more. I'm sure we're going to get more. Aleister Black versus Buddy Murphy reenacting their match from TLC last year. You know, this spot was happening a lot. You know, Aleister doing it and then Buddy Murphy doing it. And then, they follow it up with the guy who sees the guy sitting Indian style. He tries to kick him and the guy just leans back and, whiffs the kick. I really wish that someone would just, crawl up to whoever happens to be doing this Indian style sitting and just slap him in the face. Just crawl up, slap him in the face. Or if they bend back to whiff on that, just grab their leg and, just start going nuts on them, Because the whole Indian style sitting is now kind of starting to wear on me. Randy saying kiss him on the nose. Oh, Velveteen Dream should have done that crap when he went against Aleister Black. Oh, that would have been fantastic. Love that. There was some... No, Randy just made me relapse into when I used to work in retail or when I worked at the grocery store earlier last year. I would occasionally, if one of my coworkers, like their collar wasn't right or their tie wasn't on straight in sales or something wasn't right, I would always straighten up what was wrong with them, like a mom or dad would. And then I would just kind of lightly grab the top of their head and kiss them on the forehead or on the side of the head. I would just get a big laugh out of everybody. Just kind of straighten up that. I just love getting that kind of reaction from people, and that's what should happen here. Guy just said no. Guy just walks up to him and crawls up and just lightly pecks him on the cheek or pecks him on the forehead, playing with him. There were a lot of that kind of hard-hitting stuff. I guess Murphy, no, it's not a wee. It's just a, more like a, little Meteora double knee. Yeah, that's what that is. But Aleister Black would get the win with the Mass O Black after an exchange of sorts. No Murphy's Law here. No roll up here. We come out and Black Mass for you. That's how he would finish this match. And he would give another one. He would give him a second one just for good measure. So, yeah. Mikey, really good match with Black and Murphy. I think it was even better than the one they had at TLC. Didn't feel like it went too long, just right. The crowd was into it by the end. Yep. Cool deal. We learn backstage that everyone involved in the first segment, the Kevin Owens, the Samoa Joe, the Rollins, and the AOP, they all have been asked to leave the building. By who? Who asked security for all these people to leave? I don't know. Who has authority on this show? I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. Lana's getting her makeup done for the wedding. Eric Rowan walks up with his cage. He says his invitation was lost in the mail. Rowan says they don't care before they scream and walk off. Randy Orton is going to give us an update on his injury, which everyone on all the wrestling news websites was reporting that he was reportedly injured at a house show. I don't know. When I first saw the reports and everything, I will admit I was a little sketchy. It was a little sketchy. Pictures were shown of him in a wheelchair being carted. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to have my thoughts on that when we get up to it in a little bit. Eric Rowan going against some guy with Kip written on his trunks. That's a big choke slam thingy. That's what Eric Rowan did. And Eric Rowan won. Eric Rowan won. Eric Rowan. Eric Rowan. Eric Rowan. Eric Rowan is now going to be his name. We have Ruby Wyatt and Eric Rowan. Doesn't roll off the tongue like Roman Reigns. You can do that easily. But Eric Rowan. Eric Rowan. Charlotte Flair's in the ring, says that she's going to be in the Women's Royal Rumble. Goes against Natalya. Whatever. Something happens here. I think Natalya does something. Yeah, suplex onto the thing. Sure. Okay. Your winner would be Charlotte when she would tackle Natalya after hitting her with the boot. I really want to watch this match in comparison to their NXT women's title match that they had at the very first NXT TakeOver. Because I really have a feeling there may be no difference between the two at all. Flair would win by submission, so there you go. Charles Caruso's backstage. She talks with Becky Lynch, and Becky Lynch talks about Asuka, because they're going to have a match at the Royal Rumble. And she gives a come hither look. I guess that's the best way of describing it. Come hither, young Asuka. Come hither. Orange County is making their way to the ring. AJ Styles there says that there are any doubters. They still need proof that Raw is the Orange County's show. They show Orange County defeating the Viking Raiders. Then out come the Street Profits. They say that, well, hey, if they did all that stuff against the Viking Raiders, then that makes us just as good as them. So why don't they have a match? So they're going to go and have a match. And the ref doesn't like it that AJ Styles is out there grabbing shoes, so he gets kicked out of the match. And your winners of the match would be the Street Profits after Montez. Is that a wee? No, wees are only done to the outside of the ring. He has a really high leap. Montez Ford jumps very, very high. One thing, though, I do want to say about this when it comes to Street Profits, yeah, they can be fun at times. Montez Ford is wearing on me a little bit. He is becoming a little too demonstrative. He's becoming a little too obnoxious for me. I think it's more in the ring stuff and his mannerisms. He's getting a little overboard on some things. His whole shaking of the ropes, and he's got a guy in a headlock and he starts sticking out his tongue and flicking it the whole time. And there are just some things I don't get that he's doing. But hey, if people enjoy it, I'm not going to shit all over it. But it's kind of weird. That's all. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Dawkins, I identify with Dawkins in this. I completely identify with Angelo Dawkins in this. Like, fam, what are you doing? Are you okay? It's kind of like the two guys that are friends together, and you can tell that one of them is on speed and the other one is on the legalized stuff, okay? No, seriously, that's what it looks like, you know? Ah, boy. I'm sorry, this is not good for audio, but for the love of God, that personifies everything that I've. Yeah, Montez has the. Montez needs decaffeinated speed, says Randy. Well, I don't know if there is such a thing. Sasha, you have a favorite WWE wrestler? Yes, I have favorite WWE wrestlers. Yes, I do. My favorites range. Who is my favorite right now? Who's my favorite one to watch? When you say favorite, I mean that I am enthusiastic when they have a match. I guess marking is what the word is or something. I guess the one that I do become enthusiastic with is Walter. Walter is my favorite right now. Oh yeah. And just the character of him too, where I'm not one who's all about the sanctity of professional wrestling, but his character and his group, where that's what they're about when they kind of go against it in ways and being a little hypocritical. I kind of like that. But Walter is my favorite. I love me some Walter right now. Before that, it was Rusev. I was a humongous Rusev fan. Love Rusev. Then it was Vladimir Kozlov. Then it was. You'll notice that I don't like Americans. I just love potato. I like potatoes when they're thrown, but I also love a good cheap foreigner heel. I love a good cheap foreigner heel. All right, let's get away from that. All right, so yes, that's what we're having. Asuka, Becky Lynch at Royal Rumble. Yes, that's what we're having. 2-on-1 handicap match of Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins versus Drew McIntyre. Now, there's some people you can have handicap matches with, like Braun Strowman, 3-on-2 handicaps with like the Viking Raiders. Real big, gigantic guys, okay? Drew McIntyre does not strike me as one of them, especially when you're going against two guys that actually have names that you recognize and that, they aren't just two jobbers. There's a big difference. This one, I don't... What are we doing here with Drew McIntyre? What are we doing? I'm very, very curious right now because he is in limbo right now. He is in vast limbo. We have no idea what's going on right now. Next week on Raw, because apparently this week there's just not enough going on, Brock Lesnar's going to be on Raw. Mysterio's going to get his rematch for the United States title against Andrade because we've pitched the rematch idea. And finally, a triple threat tag team title match of Street Profits, Orange County, going against the defending Viking Raiders. Randall Orton comes to the ring. He starts lamenting about Edge when he knew that it was time to go when he was horribly injured. I knew that something was up right when he mentioned Edge because there's a difference between injuries to your neck and your back and a knee injury. Especially when it's a knee injury that you really don't... There's not a lot of history with you in knee problems. For Randy Orton and injury problems in his history, it's more been on shoulders. Shoulder and clavicle, specifically. Not really a whole lot of knee problems. He's been wearing a knee brace and some wrapping on the knee for quite some time. But... saying that your career might be over because of a knee injury, talk to Rey Mysterio about that one. So AJ Styles comes in and pokes fun at him, and says they're going to have to wait till WrestleMania probably for them to have a match. And Randy Orton says, well, I'm not that patient. And then, that is such a great angle on that camera. The tossing of the crutch, the leap up, God, it just... Styles and Orton have got some chemistry. They've got some great chemistry. Styles selling it like a champ. Orton with that flick away of the cane, and how he does, and it was just a good segment. Great way to end this segment. Randall Orton is fine. Okay. Daniel saying that leg stomp to show the knee is okay. Yeah. But mine, it's just that moment of flicking away the crutch, leaping up, and see if I can stop this at the right moment where, let me see. Right there. There's just that particular shot right there where Orton's just got both legs, knees above the hips. Styles is about to take it, and he's about to prop down. Man. But the flicking of the crutch, he's just, bam. He just goes, whee. God, so good. So good. Got to turn stuff off there that's on the side. So, yeah, Randall Orton is okay. Okie dokie, Bob. Andrade going against some jobber. Andrade never lets it get to an end because he starts ripping up the padding to reveal concrete. Why he's going to do this to the jobber, I don't know. But instead, to come out to the jobber's rescue is Ricochet. Sure. Ricochet seems to be appearing a lot in different places, demanding that, hey, I should have a title shot, when it's not flying with me right now. Hasn't been on TV that much, to be honest, and when he has been on TV, he's been begging for title shots. Yeah, there's the concrete, and he gets back body dropped on it. Yep, no wee from him today. Ricochet ain't giving us a wee today. Oh, boy. And finally, to end Raw, such a beautiful day. It's just a beautiful night. The lovely blushing bride in a miniskirt. Sure. So they're doing the thing. Out comes Lana's supposed first husband, who's actually just a local talent there out of I think they were in Pittsburgh. Is that where they were? Pittsburgh or Philly? Where the hell were they? Where were they today? Oh, they were in Hartford. Oh, they're in Hartford. Wacky shit happens in Hartford. Okay, so Lana's first husband, Bobby Lashley, beats the crap out of him and tosses him out of the ring. Then out comes Bob's first wife, and she gets beat up, and she's tossed out of the ring. But then a third objection from Liv Morgan, who, Liv Morgan comes out. She's objecting to the wedding. Says that when she came to the company at the end of her teenage years, this person loved her intensely and helped her through the year. This year, the 2019. Lashley says that he never touched this Liv Morgan. Morgan isn't talking about Lashley. She's talking about Lana. Lana attacks her. They brawl before security takes Liv Morgan away. Lana orders the officiant to continue, but Rusev pops out of a giant-ass cake that's in the ring. He attacks Bob. Liv Morgan returns to the ring, shoves Lana into the cake, covering her face, because we love cake all over Lana's face, because we try to identify with the cake. Rusev and Morgan celebrate as the show comes to a close. Lana. There's Rusev popping out of giant-ass cake. Then we can't see what he's doing. Really wacky-ass episode. Really wacky-ass way to end it. So we have Liv and Lana in a lesbian love triangle angle? And Rusev's just going to stand idly by and watch, and Bob is going to smile? I don't know. I don't get it. You can tell this show is produced by Paul Heyman. So what did everyone think of the show? 61% of the people loved Raw. That's actually weird and par for the course. It should be 61% did not like Raw, and everyone hates Raw because everyone watches Raw. CJ saying the wedding had a lot of fun moments. Whee! Says CJ. Welcome to the chat room. Okay. So that's Raw. Liv Morgan making her triumphant return? Maybe? I don't know. Possibly? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know. But if you kids like returns, oh boy, then we have got a show for you. No, not that. I've got something else that I want to show them. I want to show them the results of that, of the thing. That thing. Hey, look who's back from getting off of DUI charges in Florida. Well, the beer map, CJ, that was actually that was the promotional readout for our sources today from D9 Brewery. It's the Defying Gravity line of sours called Infinite Improbability. It's green. You see that? It's green. It's a green tint. Green beer. Because it's made from purple potatoes. And it's a 14 ABV. All right. So, looks like some boys are back after getting a not guilty plea from a DUI charge in Florida. Apparently either the officer screwed up or they got a very nice lawyer. One of the two, because the video of the pullover did not do him justice. So something happened there. Anyway. Oh, we start off, The Miz sees Daniel Bryan backstage, and you got to beat the Fiend because he did stuff to my family. He's a bad person. That's what you got to do. Sasha Banks and Bayley are in the ring saying how they are awesome. Then Lacey Evans and Dana Brooke come out saying, no, you're not awesome. We're going to beat you because you're not awesome. Then Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross come out. Alexa's like, why are we out here? Why do we care about this? And Nikki is like, well, because we want to get back in the tag team picture. So, yeah. So, a triple threat women's tag team match with the implications being, I don't know. Just so that you all understand that these women exist. That's what I got. This is a good way to shove all our entire women's roster onto SmackDown, is to do this triple threat. I kind of helped Roy out a little bit because Roy's reviews of SmackDown, recaps of SmackDown, tend to miss something. His reviews tend to miss something, and it's a vital part of the review and the recap when you read it. What you need is, I never knew that Nikki Cross set up just as long as John Morrison to leap off of things. Because what you need in a recap is a whee! That is Nikki Cross leaping off of the top turnbuckle. She's whee! She's going to land on 3 people, not like Kevin Owens, who landed on the entire population of Hartford, Connecticut. Nikki only needs 3 to maintain her landing. Yeah, she's a wee. It's glad that Sasha dodged that, but she didn't dodge a lot of other things in this match. Wee. Okay, that's enough of that. Oh boy. But this match would end with a nice little blind tag from Brooke and Lacey Evans nailing Sasha with the woman's right. Pop. And then Dana Brooke landing a wicked senton. Oof. Nice right hand, and an oof senton. You see, that's how a senton is supposed to be done. Your tailbone and lower back is supposed to land on him. Oof. That is a spot that only a Sasha Banks would take and think that it was warranted. Woof. Boy. Bam. Ugh. Yeah, we might be getting a Sasha Banks Dana Brooke match this coming Friday, I think. And it would be a good time to prop up some other women in the women's division on Raw or SmackDown for either one, you know? And it's good to give them just that one chance. You don't necessarily have to stick with it. It's not like she's Santana Garrett. Ugh. I mean, you know, after you give Santana Garrett the second chance, you don't have to have her on again, you know? So, I don't know. Ugh. Boof. Dana is getting a push, says Machoon. Well, she could be. I mean, she's on TV more often than she ever has been. CJ, she's actually competent. Well, I think Dana's way more competent than Santana Garrett is. That's for one, okay? All right. New Day is backstage with The Miz. He says he watched the balls drop on New Year's Eve. Kofi going, dude, there's only one ball that drops. What were you watching? Miz does not find any of this funny, and he wants Kofi in a match. So that's what we're going to have. We're going to have Kofi and The Miz in a match. We see the clip show of everything that happened on the previous episode. Dolph Ziggler stepping on Otis's mama's fruitcake. But then the Revival's backstage. They hated about being in that Miracle on 34th Street fight. They hate that. They know the internet hates it. They are riding the web's reports that they're being treated as a joke. They're riding it high. Out comes Shorty G, who says that they shouldn't let anyone what anyone says bother them. They should embrace who they are. For example, Shorty G has embraced how short he is and has come up with the motto of rise over size, and much to the Revival's reaction. Dash with the whiplash cocking of the eyebrow, and Scott going, my God, what is this? This was fantastic. Okay, just that. Just that. Oh, my God. I really am starting to dig Wild Dash and Scott of the Revival. I'm really starting to dig him in that, man, do they sell for the internet crowd? Oh, man, they are the angry internet fans. They are the embodiment of angry internet wrestling fans. I love it. Absolutely love it. And the thing is, they're just as tall as them. Let's put the rest of this infinite improbability into the chalice of truth. Oh, gosh. Almost all of it didn't go in there. This stuff is magnificent, guys. Seriously. Whew. Okay. No, Roy, that's not me when Big E said he watched the balls drop. No, Roy, you're trying too hard, Roy. Shorty G versus Dash Wilder with Scott Dawson on commentary at ringside. Not much of a match. Gable looked like he was going to get the win, but then Dawson gets into the ring. The both of them start beating him up. They give him the Shatter Machine. But then, all of a sudden, it's a fame for shame, lobster head, a careless man, you wind up dead. You wear your fame like some kind of pride. Too many limes. It's Sheamus. Sheamus is back. Gets in the ring. Revival scatter. Sheamus is going, why not, guys? Don't you want this? And he gives a brogue kick to Shorty. Good to see good old Sheamus back. We can see him probably plowing through some little fellas in the near future. Shorty G, Mustafa Ali. Anyone else? Those are the first two that I can think of. Could give him some jobber matches. But the big thing that I'm looking forward to is a potential reuniting with Cesaro. It could happen. It could happen. Me personally, I would love it if his swan song match to retire would be against Cesaro. Because if many of you remember, as we went over the entire pay-per-view schedule of the 2010s, one of the standout matches was Sheamus and Cesaro in their best of 7 in the early 2010s, before they became the Bar. Was just a fantastic match that no one saw coming. That no one saw coming at all. I don't know if we're really going to get a reuniting of Sheamus and Cesaro, but there are a lot of matches that Cesaro has missed out on that he could definitely have. Sheamus versus Nakamura is one. Rattle them off. We could see Sheamus and Roman Reigns again. Sheamus, Baron Corbin. That'd be a fun one, I think. I mean, it's been a long time since we've seen Sheamus in singles competition. And so the possibilities are out there for what he can do and what we could put him in. It's just as long as the programs are compelling, because right now the big fella is saying that the SmackDown is full of weirdos, and he's trying to eliminate the weirdos. That's what it seems to be. Bring back the Sheamus 515. Yeah, we could. Could bring back the Sheamus 515. Miz versus Kofi Kingston. This told a fantastic story, where the Miz has been rattled out of his boots because the Fiend broke into his home. He's just not the same. He's just not focused at all. And it showed in the match, where it was a good storytelling match, because you could tell by Miz's offense or what he was doing, he just wasn't into it. And you would think, if you didn't know anything about the story, that he was just going through the motions. But his character was showing that he was not focused, that he was not intuitive at all. And so here we go. CJ saying the Fiend being a reset button for the people's characters. Sure. It's about time we actually have something that triggers a repackage rather than just doing a repackage out of nowhere. Instead of giving a person a 3 or 4 month break and you repackage them. So here's the Miz. This is the finishing sequence to the Miz Kofi match. What do you say? Goes for the skull crushing finale. Nope. Kofi rolls him up. 1, 2, 3 is how it would end. After the match, the Miz would attack Kofi and Big E, then leave the ring. Then the crowd would be booing the Miz, chanting, "You suck," and the Miz yelling back at them, "After everything I've gone through, I've given you everything, how dare you?" That is why this match was so good, because that is the reaction we wanted for the Miz. All right? It is exactly what we wanted. How do we get the crowd to go against him? Well, you're lackadaisical in the ring. You have the good, consummate good guy, the one who had the greatest 2019 of all of them, Kofi. Roll you up. You beat him up afterwards because you're a sore loser. The crowd boos on you and craps on you. So what do? We go back sulking into our locker room. And who would be there to answer the door when someone wants to interview The Miz after being so pissed? It's none other than John Morrison. Welcome back, John Morrison. He's back. John Morrison is back on the main roster of the WWE. Thoughts, concerns, complaints. God. I'm glad he's back. For those of you that don't know why I'm talking like Keanu Reeves, a long time ago on Wrestleview Radio, we basically equated that John Morrison was the Keanu Reeves of the WWE. Sure, I can do the parkour. I can do all kinds of things. And that's how he talked on the. That's kind of how he is. Okay, that's kind of how he is. So he's asked.
Morrison, I was actually hoping to get a word with the Miz regarding.
Miz doesn't have anything left to say tonight.
That's what we get. What we get is John Morrison saying the Miz just doesn't want to talk. This was fabulous. The entire way that they constructed this, I mean creative, in a way to let's retool someone's character. Let's make this other character very, very viable. And let's reintroduce someone else. But how do we get the crowd to turn on the guy that we're trying to retool? This was, if you think about it, this three-way process for these three individuals by the creative team was about a 6 to 8 week long process, almost 2 months, little over 2 months, okay? Where we want to try to, no, actually, this is about 3 months practically. We've built the boogeyman, Bray Wyatt, as a menace. We want to repackage The Miz, because right now he's fledgling. So let's try to garner some sympathy for him, to have him focus on the boogeyman, but everyone else wants after the boogeyman, so now he's left slighted that he can't go after the boogeyman. So how do we repackage him? Well, let's bring in someone from his past to try to rejuvenate him or recapture something, and there you go. Masterfully done by the creative staff, okay? Masterfully done. If you think this was all done on a whim, shut up. Hell, the announcement of John Morrison re-signing to the WWE was a little over a month ago. Everyone was just waiting for when he would show up. And here we go. Masterfully done. Masterfully done. Otis with Tucker at ringside going against Drew Gulak. CJ saying this is the work of Pritchard and Company? Yep, sure is. Bruce Pritchard at the helm. That's right. Earlier in the show, Mandy Rose approached a keg-lifting Otis who seemed to be grumbles. And Mandy Rose tried to, you're not still angry about the fruitcake. Did you see that? And he's like, no, but my mom did. Mandy trying to apologize. Tucker comes up to him and is like, dude, come on, focus. We got a match. This is said match of Otis with Tucker at ringside versus the Drew Gulak, who, as approaching to the ring, Gulak has prepared a 372 slide PowerPoint presentation of why Mandy Rose would never want to go out with someone who looks like Otis, who looks like he's just leaking butter. It was a fabulously fun match. During the match, we would see backstage Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville looking at odd peripheral angles at a television of the match that was happening. Then Dolph Ziggler coming up and trying to flirt and stuff. I don't care. But Otis does the Caterpillar, and then he does the Vader Bomb to follow it up to win the match. Plop. I kind of like the elbow drop more than the worm itself. You know, the... It's just a lazy lay, you know, just bam. Okay. Yeah, a fun match. Braun Strowman facing Cesaro with Shinsuke Nakamura, the Intercontinental Champion, and Sami Zayn in tow. Your winner would be Braun Strowman. He would get the cover and the pin, and it was a very good, fun match with everyone involved. But then we would get treated with a weird, Braun. You didn't eat that knee. You got nothing on it. What are you afraid of? Man, boy. But this is all leading up to Braun Strowman versus Shinsuke Nakamura at some point. Oof. Oh boy, Braun. Yeah, you're not going to be getting a title anytime soon like that, big guy. Yeah. Yeah, that's not going to be happening. Yeah, Shinsuke didn't wait for Braun to get in position. Well, on Knox timing, I think it's kind of both. You know. Finally, your main event, Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan versus Karen Corbin and Dolph Ziggler. It's your decent Teddy Long special. Tag team match main event. Everyone's going yes, everyone's going yes. Bray Wyatt says, nope, I don't like it. Yeah. And of course, he wouldn't like it later on where he appears during the match and shoves his fingers down Daniel Bryan's throat. So now it's a 2-on-1. We basically have a no contest at this point because the referee didn't see any of this happening. I don't know. Maybe. But then as Roman Reigns gets shackled by the handcuffs and he's about to get doused on a dog food by Ziggler and Karen Corbin again, out come our boys that love some free video game swag and getting off of DUIs in Florida. It's the Usos. The boys are back, and hopefully they're sober. Same can't be said for other people, but we'll see. So, yeah, the Usos are back. They come over to save the day. Tamina comes over to them backstage after the show to give a nice picture. I think this was before the show. That's what this looked like. Roman Reigns on the Twitter saying new year, new goals, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SmackDown, through all the craziness, through all the travel, you can never replace the feeling of being with family. Now let's get them boys wrestling. There you go. What did everyone think of the show? 90% gave SmackDown a thumbs up, and that is par for the course. SmackDown always gets positive reviews because nobody watches SmackDown. Those are your TV shows for the week that are important. NXT was a clip show handing out stupid awards that no one really cares about. AEW did some stuff. I don't know. I have a hard time taking AEW seriously right now. Oh, CJ saying can't wait for, oh my God, Usos need to push. Against who are the tag champions? Against the New Day again? Ooh. I don't know. Usos aren't really going to be getting any tag team stuff right now. They're going to be palling around with Roman Reigns for a while. They aren't going to be doing anything by themselves for a while. They're going to be doing a lot of six-mans. They're going to be doing a lot of tag team matches with no title implications at all. It's going to be happening. They're going to be on the back burner for a while after all the stupid shit they were doing. So, that's your TV for the day. Hey, over in the Japan, there was something happening this weekend. 2 nights of wacky, over-the-top, sports-like shenanigans that I sometimes really don't get. It's on the news. It's the Kingdom of Wrestling. So, Orange Cassidy was on the AEW show, and that's all I care about, says Lewis. I totally agree. That's probably the only thing that matters on AEW is Orange Cassidy. Okay. So, Wrestle Kingdom is a 2-night event. It is basically New Japan Pro Wrestling's WrestleMania, where you have night 1 and night 2. It seems to me that night 2 builds off of some stuff that happens from night 1, but there's some stuff that happens on night 1 that makes no sense, then happens on night 2 that makes no sense. So, what we see here is, this is night 1, okay? I don't follow New Japan. I have no idea what's happening there. I kind of know the names. I understand the big storyline right now is this guy, Naito, coming back from injury of some kind, and now he wants to be the big deal. So, okay, I'm taking it. That's what's going to happen. But the big thing about the Kingdom of Wrestling this year, it is Jushin Thunder Liger's retirement. These would be his final matches, and he would be done. All done. That's the big thing. So, first, all right, what do we got here? Opening matches. Oh, who the hell cares? Okay, retirement match number 1 for Jushin Thunder Liger. I hope I get this right. This looks to be an 8-man tag with Ryusuke Taguchi, Tatsuhito Takaiwa, Shinjiro Utani, Naoki Sano versus with Kuniaki Kobayashi. I feel like I'm just reciting a Japanese menu. Going against Tiger Mask, the Great Sasuke, Tatsumi Fujinami, and Liger with El Samurai in the background. I've heard the new reason New Japan and Axis fell apart was New Japan did not want to work with Impact. Big surprise, says Lewis. Now that makes perfect sense. Stuff happens. Let's watch the glorious one. Liger doing stuff. He's only a year older than Undertaker. Okay. Okay. Let's get funky. Oh. Okay. Sure. Let's get funky. Sure. Do you like getting funky? Japan. Only in Japan. I don't know. I guess I don't get it. I'm just not cultured. I don't know. That anime sponsorship in the ring. Oh, yeah, it is. It is anime sponsorship in the ring. Everyone's happy. Everyone's celebrating. There goes Samurai and Tiger Mask. Yep, hoisting the Liger. Another a 6-man tag, but this time I don't know. Yeah, 8-man tag of Bushi, Shingo Takagi, Evil, and Sanada versus El Desperado, Taichi, Minoru Suzuki. Oh, I know that name. And Zack Sabre Jr. Oh, I know that little critter. He got the shit beat out of him by Walter. I remember watching that during my Twitch days. The dragon roaring. Okay. Dragon's doing stuff. Is the dragon doing stuff? I guess he's doing stuff. Okay. I guess he's doing stuff. I don't know. Whatever. Zack Sabre Jr. showing Sanada his nice, shiny junior heavyweight belt, I think, is what he's doing. Okay. Sounds neat. Lewis saying I'll eventually have to get the New Japan app because I love me. Oh, that's cool. From what I heard, a lot of people had to be refreshing the New Japan app a lot because it was doing a lot of buffering during this show. Another 8-man tag. This is the first night. Night 1 just had multi-man clusterfuck matches, okay? I'm just scrolling through all of this, okay? Really. I'll just watch some guy trying to beat up a very large black man is what I'll do. Big bite, best bark. Okay. Oh, God. Sure. Okay. Okay, finally, we get something here. The IWGP Tag Team titles. Dave Finlay and Juice Robinson versus Tonga Loa and Tamatonga, the Samoans. Okay, so what we got here is the entrance, or something's happening on the ramp. Someone gets a back body drop on there. That's probably Juice. I don't know. David Finlay creating an opening of some kind. This is the first time I'm seeing these, by the way. Yeah, these are the first times I'm seeing all of this, so I really don't know what happened in this thing. Your winners and new champs would be David Finlay and Juice Robinson. How'd they do it? I don't know.
It wasn't because of this, maybe. Oh, he gets a stunner. Okay. Is this the finisher? Spirits are high? No, they just won the things. Okay.
For the U.S. title of the IWGPs in a Texas death match, Lance Archer would be defending his title against Jon Moxley or Dean Ambrose. Lots of shenanigans. Here's some chairs. Someone's eating them. My guess is that's going to be Moxley. Uh-huh. Is that all we're getting? Nope. We're going to get some tables. This doesn't look good because I never liked the Japanese tables. Looks fun. But finally, Moxley would win the title. He would be your new Japan U.S. champion. He would grab the microphone, says that he is a gambler. He came to Tokyo to leave with nothing or leave with everything. Tomorrow night, he's going to settle the score with Juice Robinson once and for all. They aren't the table. No, okay. IWGP Little Critter title. Hiromu Takahashi will be squaring off, trying to get Will Ospreay in his title. Will Ospreay. Oh, God, I'm relapsing. Oh, God, don't remind me of fucking Will Ospreay. For fuck's sake. He just does stuff. Oh, God, is this the... Okay. This is the gift that I have been seeing for the past ever since the show was on, for the past 36 hours. Is this exchange that just looks stupid, okay? It just looks stupid, but you tell me. Back off the top ropes, misses. Time bomb. Nope, misses the German. Ospreay tries running after him again. Time bomb flicks him back into the ring. Ospreay tries to do the same damn thing again, and this time it hits. CJ, remember Ricochet's in the WWE. Yes, Ricochet's in the WWE. He was toned down a little bit. This... Though I do like some of the characters of New Japan, like how Takahashi, is that his name? Yeah, Takahashi. I like it how he comes to the ring with a stuffed animal and talks to it and stuff. It's a fun stunt, but not wrestling, says Xantrix. Yeah, no, you're right. There's actually something I do want to try to bring up here while I'm having this gift play over. One of the things that I was investigating over the weekend was trying to figure out, I dabbled into some WWE NXT UK. I dabbled into some NXT UK recently. And I was trying to figure out what is an Ilya Dragunov. And so I decided to do some investigating. What is an Ilya Dragunov? Because apparently he's being pushed, and we could inevitably be seeing a match between him and Walter for the UK title. And, excuse me here. Sorry. No, pause. Shut it. There we go. And so I did some investigating and found that Walter and Ilya Dragunov were part of an independent fed in the Europes called WXW. And this was their final appearance in WXW, Walter fulfilling his contractual obligations. This was posted on June the 9th of last year. Hopefully I do not get dinged by the YouTube Gestapo for this. It is from Westside Extreme Wrestling. But the reason I bring this up is because what Walter and Ilya say just rings so true to me when I think of what a lot of pro wrestling is in some organizations and what it could be. But I'm in no way buying what they're selling as the characters and stuff. Okay, so just take it in. Please don't ding me.
Damit wir eine Sache klarstellen, von Anfang an. Der einzige Grund, warum ihr alle hier sitzt und der einzige Grund, warum WXW in der Lage ist, dass heute fast 900 Zuschauer in der Halle sitzen, ist wegen der harten Arbeit von mir und Ilja.
Yeah. Sure.
Halt die Schnauze da unten, der kommt nie wieder. Der ist weggelaufen wie ein feiger Hund letztes Mal.
And bear in mind, this is immediately following a match where Walter just defended his title against some guy who I could only probably describe as a little critter.
Ihr seid Teil des Problems, denn als ich mir heute eine Stunde von meiner Freizeit genommen habe, um hier ein Meet and Greet abzuhalten, was habe ich dann gelesen? Nee, für Walter ist ja nichts Besonderes, der war doch immer hier. Wisst, ihr seid der arroganteste Haufen Abschaum, den ich meine ganze Karriere jemals hier nur erlebt habe. Liebe für euch.
This is why if Walter starts speaking his native tongue, I love it. God, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Oh, good stuff.
Wir lieben euch, wir lieben WXW. Aber dass ihr diesen Abschaum respektiert, mehr Respekt den Abschaum zollt, diesen Flickflackertesten, die sich am liebsten in Turnhallen aufhalten. Während wir auf der großen Weltbühne stehen, denn ihr wisst eins nicht, Liebe ist keine Einbahnstraße und mehr Respekt verdienen wir als dieser Abschaum.
Woof. They spend more time they spend more time in a gymnasium. Okay? Or he's basically talking about how they just like doing the flips. That's German. Okay, that is German that they're speaking. Ilya Dragunov is originally from Moscow, originally from Russia, but he speaks fluent German.
Eines ist uns beiden klar geworden und das müssen alle hier verstehen. Als ich in New York stand und diesen Titel...
That's what he's holding. He's holding that's the WWE UK title. Okay, that's Walter fulfilling his obligations in smaller feds. Okay.
War mir klar, ich bin zu Größeren geboren als die Scheiße hier. Eines steht von jetzt an fest. Wir sind nicht mehr eure Jungs von WXW. Wir sind Superstars. Und wir fangen an, das Problem hier auszumisten. Ihr zwei, ihr seid Showman. Und wir nehmen uns jetzt das, was wir denken, was uns zusteht. Egal, ob das euch gefällt oder sonst jemand. Uns beide könnt ihr am Arsch lecken.
Yes. That is all. Now, again, they're selling. I'm buying it, but I'm taking it to a fuller extent here, okay? You could go ahead and equate that to the Seth Rollins signing his WWE contract on the Ring of Honor belt. You could go ahead and make those comparisons. I know what I'm being sold to. Take my money. Exactly, Santrix. Here, take. I'm buying. Okay? I'm buying all of it. And I'm identifying with it and everything. Okay? He speaks about so much that's happening with pro wrestling right now, where people take talents, they're taking performers for granted. People just love watching little critters and counters for counters and finishers for finishers, where people just like doing stuff in a gymnasium rather than doing stuff on the big stage and looking for bigger and better things. Ugh. God. And just hearing Walter speaking his native tongue. Damn, that's good. Oh, that's good. And even Ilya. I mean, I was looking at this trying to figure out who an Ilya Dragunov was because he looks like a weird-looking guy. Okay, and he's a little critter himself, but he potatoes like a bad man, okay? And I was trying to figure out who he is.
Wir lieben euch, wir lieben WXW. Aber dass ihr diesen Abschaum respektiert. Mehr Respekt den Abschaum zollt, diesen Flickflackertesten, die sich am liebsten in Turnhallen aufhalten. Während wir auf der großen Weltbühne stehen, denn ihr wisst eins nicht, Liebe ist keine Einbahnstraße und mehr Respekt verdienen wir als dieser Abschaum.
And the thing is, Ilya Dragunov, I think he's only like 26 years old. Like 25, 26 years old, something like that. He first tried out for the WWE in 2013 or 2014. And he ended up with a concussion, or a skull injury is what they called it. And then for those 5 years that he was gone, he was trying to get back into the fray. And then he tried out again, got back. This time the WWE brought him in, and he's now with NXT UK alongside Volta. So I'm sorry that I've strayed away from the New Japan silliness. But when I see this GIF, that's what it reminds me of. You know? If this is your thing, awesome. Okay, I am not going to tell you that this is not wrestling, okay? If this is what you like, awesome. I'm not going to shit over it, okay? But don't expect everyone to love it, okay? Just because it follows a word that you think everyone else follows, and that being professional wrestling, okay? To me, no, whatever. Osprey would do his little springboard cutter thingy. Takahashi sells it like great, but then of course kicks out because this is New Japan. You kick out of everything. We have some more spotorific stuff. We sure do. Whatever. Fun things are fun, Lewis. That's right. Fuck your shit. Fun things are fun. If the last 2 years have taught us anything, it's never ever count out Takahashi the Time Bomb. Well, that's cute. That's neat. That's cute. Takahashi would win the title. In Intercontinental title match of the IWGP Persuasion, Tetsuya Naito versus the Switchblade Jay White with Gedo in tow. Gedo used to be with Okada, I believe. Do I have any gifts for this? I sure do. Comes Naito with the drop kick, sweeping him down. There we go. That's the stuff I like right there. That's great. Okay, you got me. Okay, you got me. Okay. Naito getting caught by Switchblade. Okay. Nice little suplex to the apron to the floor. Okay. Naito's how much does Naito left in the tank? It's called Gloria? Okay, sure. Okay. All right. But your winner, new Intercontinental Champion, is Tetsuya Naito. Sleeper suplex. Naito rolls out. Oh, here comes Destino. And that's how he would win. And finally, for the IWGP Heavyweight title on day one, it is Kota Ibushi going up against the defending champ, Kazuchika Okada. We've got the gifts. Yep, we've got the gifts with a Golden Triangle moonsault. Yeah, that is a beautiful moonsault. Oh, God, I got to do a wee, don't I? Okay. I don't know what it's translated in Japan, but I'm sure it is wee! And it's Kota Ibushi, Golden Triangle, moonsault kind of thingy. I don't know why it's called triangle. Wee! Is it just because he leaps and then it's a second and a third? I don't get it. Why is his legs jigs? He just goes wee! And his legs are jiggling afterwards. What's going on with that? Did he lose feeling or something? Wee! Yeah, that's
Weird. Was he adjusting his tights or something? That's really wee. That is really weird. Wee. I don't get that. Why is he doing that? Wee. Okay, that's enough of that. I guess he was adjusting his tights. I guess that's what it is. Lewis likes Ibushi. I loved Ibushi when he was going up against Yoshi something. Yes, Kota Ibushi versus can't remember it, but it's the blow-up doll from DDT for the 24/7 Hardcore Always Defend title. Fantastic match. You should try to find it, even though the YouTube Gestapo found it and took it off. It was a fantastic match. Kota Ibushi versus a blow-up doll. Yeah. Rainmaker Okada wiping out with we got a tombstone on the apron. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, God. Oh. Ugh. Crunch. Ugh. Had to brace himself on that rope. He was about to lose him, too. Oh, God. Ugh. Finally, Ibushi crushes the champion with his own Rainmaker. Kota's going to try to do a Rainmaker. Here comes a Rainmaker. Nope. Okay. Red shoes. I don't... Hold on here. I got to pause this. Now, look. I totally get it. New Japan is a different thing for different people. Totally get it. But when the referee is just as distracting as a crowd can be, why is he acting like the cheerleader here? I don't know. That's not how you know. You're just supposed to react to what they're doing, not try to pump up the crowd. You're not supposed to be the applause sign. God, that's distracting. The camera should have zoomed right in on the two of those and avoided what the referee was doing. Oh, Doug, that's Red Shoes. He always does that. No, stop it. That's no excuse. The referee is not supposed to be your applause sign. He is not supposed to be, the warm-up man. No. No. Sorry. No. What do we got? Perfect timing by Kota is doing something on Okada. Oh, okay. I don't know what we were doing there. Is that basically what John Cena and Batista did way back when? Yeah, that is what I'm seeing, isn't it? Finally. Oh, Ibushi misses the Phoenix. Rainmaker. It's enough of that shit. Yeah, I'd say show that again. Pop. Finally, Okada would retain his heavyweight title. This would be leading us into Okada versus Naito. Title versus title. Winner take all in night 2. 86% gave Wrestle Kingdom of the 14th 63 votes. Giving it 86% a thumbs up. 63 votes. This poll was put up at 7:29 in the morning yesterday. New Japan fans who watch live are a different breed of people. I love sleep more than anything else. Apparently, Will Ospreay was injured during night 1 of his match against Takahashi. He pulled off a Sasuke special during the match is when it apparently happened. Don't know what the severity of it is. Don't know what's going on. Yes, we know that's the spot. And here he is with his piggy. He's sad pig. Okay, so I guess that means he's hurt. I don't know. I don't know. Lewis saying he hopes Kota gets the belt someday. Maybe. Against who? Kenta? I can't believe I just said that. Because there he is. Night 2. Liger retirement match number 2. Ryo Lee and Hiromu Takahashi versus Naoki Sano and Liger with Yoshiaki Fujiwara in tow. There's a lot of old people that I don't know. But we're going to miss Liger. For the junior heavyweight tag team titles, Sho and Yo versus El Fantasmo and Taiji Ishimori. Ishimori and Phantasmo are your champions. No gifts to go along with this one. I guess we wasted them all. Yeah, that or apparently our giffer is still sound asleep. But your new tag team champions of the Little Crit of Persuasion would be Sho and Yo. For the British Heavyweight Championship, it would be Sonata versus Zack Sabre Jr. defending his title. Your winner and still a Brit is Zack Sabre Jr. Apparently, okay, so what do we got here? Sonata flipping over, catches, flipping over again. Zack says, nope, I trip up your legs, and then I pin you. Okay. There's a lot of backflips and flippy stuff for no reason whatsoever, and that's what little critters do. U.S. title match. Jon Moxley defending his U.S. strap against Juice Robinson with David Finlay in tow. Cannonball? Sure. Because Americans think that they are supposed to be potatoing it because they're in Japan. Ultimate Unlimited Juice Robinson doing the superplex. And then Juice wants to go again. Okay, so we got to float over. But your winner, still U.S. title champion, is the Johnny Moxley. But then, after the match, Minoru Suzuki makes his way and just starts beating the shit out of him with forearms and puts him in the Gotch pile driver. Yeah. So there we go. Hiroki Goto versus Kenta. Kenta is defending his open heavyweight title. The never open heavyweight title, which is basically the title that you give to the up-and-comers. The ones that are like the new aces or the new lions or something like that. But Kenta's not necessarily a lion. I mean, we know Kenta knows who he is. Ushigoroshi? Go to sleep. That's what it is. Let's see. Who else? Goto taking the chops to the neck. Eats a clothesline because this is New Japan. And his clotheslines are better than yours. And your new never open heavyweight champion is Hiroki Goto. Jay White, the Switchblade, with Geto in tow, going against Kota Ibushi, the two losers from last night, going in the losers bracket. Gonna try a Switchblade? Nope. We're gonna do a Tombstone. What? Will you stop doing that thing with your leg? Give me that thing. Give me your other leg. I'm tired of that. Wait, will you stop it? Oh, it's pretty good. I'm just gonna drop you on your head. Will you stop the thing? Will you stop? You know what? Just quit it. Okay, I kind of like that. All right, Switchblade wiping out Kota up on top with with the thing. He does the thing. T-bone suplex, I guess that's what it is. Who knows? But your winner via the pinfall is Jay White. Grabbing the camera saying, "Hi, Mom." Get away from him. I want to beat him up some more. Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Chris Jericho. If Tanahashi wins, he will get a shot at Chris Jericho's AEW World title. Lots of wacky shit with frumpy men is what this is. Wacky shit with frumpy men. DDT off the table. Sure. High fly flow. What is a high five flow? What is high five flow? What is this, Tana? You get down from there. You get down from there. Oh, okay. Whatever. I'm tired of the wheeze right now. Doing another whee. What is this? Nope. Misses the frog splash. And Jericho's going to do a frumpy lion salt. Okay. But your winner by submission would be Chris Jericho. So, yeah. We're going to get a New Japan AEW thing going on. Okay? No question, that's what we're going to be getting. And finally, the winner-take-all match. Intercontinental Champ Naito versus Heavyweight Champ Kazuchika Okada. If you love wrestling introductions, New Japan is the federation for you. Because they last a fucking long time. Shit's going to happen here. Big drop kick by Okada. Sending Naito to the floor. What else have we got here? It's time for some Rainmaker things. No. I want to do a thing myself. No. That's all it's about. But your winner via pinfall and your new double champion is Tetsuya Naito. Because no rainmaking, it's Destino. And why? And the referee telling him to cover it. Why? I don't get it. Stardust Oppresso. Stardust Oppresso. What is this? Oh, okay. Phoenix Splash. Whatever. He wins. Naito gets both titles. But then, out of nowhere, Kenta comes up, attacks Naito from behind, sits on top of Naito with both titles, yelling at him. That means Kenta is going to be getting the Intercontinental Championship very, very soon. What did we think of Night 2? I don't know, but only 39 people have voted so far, and we posted this poll at 5:30 in the morning today. Don't think it's worth it. So there's your Kingdom of Wrestling for the weekend. I might watch Night 2, I guess. I don't know. If it's your thing, awesome. I will not say anything bad about you. To me, it's refresher. It's like how I watch NWA Power. So there you go. Reportedly, New Japan turned down the working relationship with Impact. Access deal was lost soon after. That's what Lewis mentioned there in the chat room. By the way, the WWE 2K video game faced another issue with crashing. Apparently, you couldn't even turn on the game and play it. So what's going on here? Let's watch something.
You know what? I didn't want to download anyone anyway. They all look like fucking shit for the most part. So I'm gonna go online instead. I'm gonna play an online contest in WWE 2K20 as I go into the year 2K20. That's exciting. Can't wait to play. Here we go. Loading into a fuck. Okay, fine. I can't get none of the online stuff works. I'm gonna play the career. I'm gonna play my career. I haven't finished it. I'm gonna play my career now. It's time to get some my career. All right, you know what? I just won't play the fucking game. Fine. If you just want me to play, just fucking tell me. Fuck.
We are aware of the issues related to WWE 2K20 crashing and are currently investigating said 2K support. They would release a patch, and it has been fixed. The game has been a shit show from the get-go, okay? So that's the last I'm going to talk about that thing. Impact Wrestling official has reportedly been investigated for sexual harassment. Happy New Year's Day. Here's your report. According to a report that originated on Wrestling News World and then confirmed on Fightful, Impact Wrestling official was recently investigated for alleged sexual harassment. The official, whose name has been withheld, allegedly sexually harassed a former talent of Impact Wrestling, whose name has also been withheld, so we're just going to go. Who knows? If you're not going to name me names, then it ain't news. NXT and NXT UK is going to be broadcasting on BT Sport in the UK and Ireland. That is a big, 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 big plus right there. All for the WWE to sell their network. Yep. All for them to sell the network. More power to them. CM Punk took to the social media immediately following the episode of Raw last week after the first segment where we have Kevin Owens landing on 10 men. So I'm just going to play the we. Yeah, I'm going to bring up the tweet is what I'm going to do. So here we go with the we. Which would have a reply from CM Punk saying, can we stop with the giant group of people standing around looking to catch someone while someone jumps on them? Leave that shit in this decade. Dare ya. Amen. This shit needs to stop. It is getting obnoxious. Then CM Punk following it with, WWE needs to hire people who actually understand what representation means to the audience they're trying to reach. But what do you know? I'm a bear. I suck the heads off fish. That is potentially in reference to the Lana Liv Morgan romance angle. So glad to see that CM Punk is no longer in the ring and is actually doing what he's always been good at, and that's just talking. Talking and saying words. Mojo Rawley would win the WWE 27 title at Times Square during the New Year's Eve thingy that was happening on Fox Network, but then R-Truth would immediately win it back. Poor guy. And then Elias would bring us in with a song. Yeah. Okay. The teams have been revealed for the 2020 Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic on NXT. It's going to be happening for the next month and a half, 2 months. And your teams are Imperium of Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel facing the Forgotten Sons of Cutler and Blake. Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne, that team will be feasting. Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster from NXT UK. NXT UK's grizzled young veterans are going to be facing Kushida and a mystery partner who I am guessing is going to be Cameron Grimes. And finally, Gallius of NXT will be facing the Undisputed Era. So there you go. The Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Who is your money going to be on? My money's going to be on Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne, and we get a swerve. We're going to get a swerve of some kind. I don't know if I can see Matt Riddle as a heel, but I can definitely see Pete Dunne as a heel. That's who my money is on. I can see them they'll definitely beat Andrews and Webster. They could beat either Imperium or Forgotten Sons, and they will probably face off against Undisputed Era. That'd be my guess. That's probably what's going to happen. Yep. No, I am not locking anything. And some people are getting married. Andrade and Charlotte Flair decided to get engaged on New Year's Eve, and then 2 days later, just posting it because she felt jealous, I guess, Nikki Bella announced that she was being engaged to her boyfriend from the television show, Artem Chigvintsev. Artem Chigvintsev. That's an anagram for fuck my hairstyle. Yeah, so there you go. Can we watch Walter yell again?
Feiger Hund letztes Mal. Ihr seid Teil des Problems, denn als ich mir heute 1 Stunde von meiner Freizeit genommen habe, um hier ein Meet and Greet abzuhalten, was habe ich dann gelesen? Nee. Für Walter ist ja nichts Besonderes. Der war doch immer hier. Wisst, ihr seid der arroganteste Haufen Abschaum, den ich meine ganze Karriere jemals wieder nur erlebt habe.
Okay, that's going to be my new ringtone. That is going to be my new ringtone. Right there, that line that he says where you all are the most arrogant pile of scum I've ever encountered in my entire life.
Wisst, ihr seid der arroganteste Haufen Abschaum, den ich meine ganze Karriere jemals wieder nur erlebt habe. Liebe für euch.
You are the most arrogant pile of scum I've ever encountered in my entire life. All right. No news on the injury front, so no changes on the injury report so far, and that is Nia Jax with recuperative surgery for ACL surgery on both of the knees. She should be back for Royal Rumble times alongside Wooby Wyatt with bilateral surgery on both of her shoulders. Jinder Mahal with a ruptured patella won't be back until WrestleMania. EC3 and Kairi Sane diagnosed with concussions. Not sure when EC3 is coming back. We haven't seen him in nearly 4 months. Kairi Sane, hers happened at TLC. We hope she gets better real soon. Jeff Hardy, when he's not driving drunk on the highways of North Carolina or passed out drunk in a stairwell in Myrtle Beach, he's trying to recuperate from knee surgery and won't be back until Fastlane. Lars Sullivan, major surgery on ACL and MCL in his knee. He should be back for WrestleMania times. Xavier Woods and Ember Moon, torn Achilles. They will not be back until SummerSlam. On the NXT front, Boa with a torn rotator cuff and labrum won't be back until SummerSlam times. Velveteen Dream has been nursing a lumbar injury. He won't be back until Royal Rumble potentially. Bobby Fish is diagnosed with a concussion. You're seeing him on TV, but he ain't in the ring yet. And finally, Fandango, dislocated elbow from 3 weeks ago, I believe, or a month ago on NXT. We will not see him potentially until TakeOver Portland in February. So, those are the people that are hurt. What about the people who aren't hurt? What about the people who are perfectly healthy? What about the people... Oh, thank God it fit. What about the people who haven't been on television for, say, 3 weeks? They end up on a very special list. And it is a very special list because the person that this is devoted to, we have some news on the person who has made this segment special. Prepare yourselves. This is news, okay? Big news, okay? Brace yourselves. Get ready. Hide the women and children. It's time for the WWE milk carton. It is the same old guy, but he's got a new look. December the 11th was the last time that we have seen our new Cruiserweight champion, Angel Garza, when he defeated Lio Rush for that title on NXT on December the 11th. We haven't seen him on television or NXT because he's been on 205 Live. So, not sure what to make of this. Also, I want to preface the milk carton with, I think I need to establish some guidelines about how you make the milk carton and what the restraints are here. Okay, first off, in order to be placed on the WWE milk carton, first off, you have to be perfectly healthy. You have not been on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, or a major pay-per-view for 3 weeks. Okay? But also, you are on the main rosters for Raw, SmackDown, or NXT. If you're on 205 Live and you appear on an episode of Raw and you're never seen from again, you're not going to be on the milk carton. But Angel Garza is on the NXT roster, and he appeared on NXT. So there you go. It's kind of why, Doug, why aren't the Singh brothers on the milk carton? They haven't been on television in over a month. Well, they're on 205 Live. They're part of the roster of 205 Live. That's why. Bear in mind, the past few episodes of NXT, last Wednesday we had a clip show where there was no action in the ring. It was pre-taped. A week before that was pre-taped with matches and stuff. It's been 3 weeks since we've had a live episode of NXT. Hence, it's been since December the 11th that we've seen the NXT Tag Team Champions Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. Doug, you're pulling hairs here. You're picking at straws. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. It's been since that time that we've seen the Forgotten Sons of Jackson Riker and Cutler and Blake. Last time we saw them, Cutler and Blake were at ringside when Jackson Riker was facing some Travis Banks guy from NXT UK to try to pump the Worlds Collide event that's going to be happening on the Saturday before the Royal Rumble. I don't know. I love this act. I really, really love this act. I don't know what it is that others are seeing that I'm not, and why they are not in a better situation. You know? I don't get it. I love the look. I love everything about these guys. The music is awesome. Their demeanor is fantastic. They got fantastic charisma. In-ring stuff between Blake and Cutler is pretty good. Jackson Riker has had a lot of time off in the ring because he can be very Ken Anderson-like, I guess. I don't know. Mia Yim, haven't seen her since that December 11th episode of NXT when she sent Dakota Kai through a lot of tables. We've seen Dakota Kai more than we've seen Mia Yim, and Dakota Kai had staples put in her head. Raul Mendoza, haven't seen him since he tried to have a revenge match against Cameron Grimes on December the 11th. Yeah. Now go figure this one out. It has been since December the 11th episode of NXT that we have seen Tomato Ciampa since his triple threat match between Keith Lee and Fons Balor to go after Adam Cole's NXT title. Haven't seen him. I'm sure we'll see him this week, so I'm not really that concerned. But still, welcome to the milk carton for the first time ever, Tomato Ciampa. Hey, numbers don't lie. Tyler Breeze, haven't seen him since that fateful episode of NXT where him and Fandango faced the Singh brothers, and that was the match where Fandango would dislocate his elbow. So what are we going to do? Man, I'm sad. This makes me sad. What are we going to do with Breeze now? December the 6th is the last time that we saw Drake Maverick when he was in some sort of weird thing on SmackDown where Elias was draping him over his knee and spanking him, and Elias and Dana Brooke were making fun of him because he was married. I don't get it. And we've gone past that now. It's been a month, and now we have all three of these people doing absolutely nothing like that at all. Good call, Bruce. Good call. Lucha House Party. Haven't seen them since their 4-way elimination tag team match on SmackDown to determine who the number one contenders would be for the SmackDown tag team titles. So, there you go. Lewis saying Drake needs to go to NWA. I think Drake's fine. I don't know what he needs to do. He didn't make it as a manager with AOP. He didn't make it as an authority figure for other little critters. I'm not sure if he's able to really do anything in the ring. He would make a fantastic manager for people who are larger than him. It's just the AOP, I don't know. I'd love to see him be the manager of someone like Babatunde. Okay? If you don't know who he is a 7'4" monstrosity out of Evolve that you are going to see soon coming into NXT. Okay? I'd love to see like a Giant Gonzalez, Harvey Whippleman relationship where Drake Maverick is part of it. That just sounds fantastic to me. Matt Riddle. Haven't seen him since the December 4th episode of NXT where he faced Cassius Ohno for the 4th or 5th time. Xia Li. Have not seen her since that same episode of NXT where she faced Shayna Baszler. in a losing effort. Hope to see her again very soon. She has a look and everything that should be on the WWE main roster. She should absolutely be on the main roster of Raw and SmackDown right now. Oh, sorry, Lewis went, bro. But Shaw, no, but I'm here now. You don't need to say bro. I've always been the bro. Titus O'Neil, haven't seen him since December 2nd episode of Monday Night Raw where he was chasing after the 24/7 title. Don't worry about him. He's too busy saving the planet. He's too busy helping the impoverished youth of Tampa Bay. He's fine. Mansoor, haven't seen him since the November 27th episode of NXT, where we were convinced that he only did stuff in South Dakota, but now he had a match in NXT, so we apparently expect him to do things in NXT, but he hasn't. It's been 6 weeks since he had a match against Shane Thorne, who was on that same episode, and we haven't seen him since then. The guy that no-sells like shit and does flippy, he needs to go to New Japan. Vanessa Bourne, haven't seen her since November the 27th on NXT, where she faced Xia Li. And in an angle involving Aaliyah, where Aaliyah's got ketchup all over her face because she's got a broken nose. Peyton Royce and Billy Kay of the Iconics, we have not seen them since the November 25th episode of Monday Night Raw, where they were selling stuff for the WWE shop. They are in Australia. Wildfires are going on, tending to their loved ones. Seriously, there's a lot of horrible stuff that's happening right now in Australia. So we may not see them for a while. This is true bereavement leave right here. Sarah Logan, haven't seen her since her 5-on-5 match on the Survivor Series. So glad to see that they're pushing the female talent on Raw. Bork Laser, haven't seen him since the Survivor Series where he emasculated Rey Mysterio. He's going to be on Monday Night Raw tomorrow. So not worried about that. Tegan Knox, haven't seen her since the women's War Games, the War Games match of the Vagina Persuasion on NXT TakeOver November the 23rd. She's the one that took the brunt of the Dakota Kai heel turn. Expect for her to make a return very, very soon and progress the Dakota lie is an asshole line. Apollo Crews, haven't seen him since SmackDown episode on November the 22nd to Pump Survivor Series, where he was involved in a big schmoz, as well as Heath Slater with a brand new picture. He's got a brand new pose. He's got a brand new, a brand new thing. Kona Reeves, haven't seen him since the November 20th episode of NXT where he was supposed to face Matt Riddle, but then he was blindsided by that asshole Ricochet. Don't worry about Kona. He's been showing up on NXT UK for the past month, so he's still got work. He just hasn't been on NXT in a while. WWE should have called the Women's Evolution Vagina Persuasion and gotten paid royalties to me. I appreciate it. The B-Team, Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. Haven't seen them since November 15th episode of SmackDown, where they were in the ring with Drew Gulak to make fun of Braun Strowman. Aaliyah, haven't seen her since November the 13th episode of NXT, where she faced Xia Li. She has ketchup on her nose from a broken nose that Xia Li caused from kicking her there. Oni Lorcan, haven't seen him since he teamed up with Danny Burch to face Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel on NXT October the 16th to pump the NXT UK brand. That was his last match before renegotiating his contract, which is now multi-year. So we should be seeing him on 205 Live or NXT UK sometime soon. Tamina, when she's not taking pictures of her cousins and Roman Reigns backstage, she's not doing a goddamn thing. She hasn't done a goddamn thing since September the 23rd when she was chasing over the 24/7 title on an episode of Monday Night Raw. Arturo Ruas, haven't seen him since the debut episode of NXT on the USA Network. He was facing Pete Dunne. It pumped up Pete Dunne. So, whatever the hell they got planned for him, yeah. Naomi, Haven't seen her since July 22nd. That was the Raw reunion episode last year where she was standing alongside Santina Marella and some 24/7 title shenanigans happened. If the Usos are back, Naomi should be coming back very soon. Primo Colon, even though he was dinged in the wellness policy, claims he didn't do anything wrong. You're still part of the main roster. You're still going to be tested, and even though you're in Puerto Rico, we're going to find a way to test you down there. Doesn't matter. You got dinged. And that doesn't excuse you from being off the milk carton. But finally, the reason for the milk carton. We are beyond a year. It's amazing. But I have breaking news. Breaking news about the stalwart of the milk carton who has not been on WWE television since Survivor Series of 2018. Nearly 15 months. This man has not been on television, but I have breaking news. Do you see anything different? The man got a new photo. The man got new poses. That's right. His cousin Epico did not get one. But Epico, the guy who has not been on TV for 14 months, has a new photo shot. It's going to happen. He's coming back, guys. Epico is coming back. He is coming back to Pride 205 Live. Not Primo. Just him. Do you know what that means? Imagine this. That Epico relinquishes the name of the WWE milk carton and bestows it upon his cousin Primo. I swear it's going to happen. This has got to happen. Okay? Can you imagine this? The name of forever the Cologne milk carton. Forever the Cologne milk carton. CJ saying, I got to send you a breaking news. I need a breaking news track. Yes. I need a breaking news track. I know that the cartoon Doug had a news sounder. It was like a lot of guys using high voices, like something like that. Or I need a CNN on MS. Dun 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 dun. Breaking news. That's the other thing too. Cable news, everything is fucking breaking news. Everything. Even if it happened 8 hours ago, it's still motherfucking breaking news. Can't it just be news? Isn't that good enough? All right. That's the WWE milk carton. Let me scroll down my database here. Because prepare yourselves. Big names that could be coming to the milk carton. Some return guests, that's for sure. Oh, God, excuse me. Tons of people on the NXT. So many people. I'm going to have the entire NXT roster on the WWE milk carton. That's for sure. Doug, is there a big name that's on your thing that could be showing up on there? Let's see. Shayna Baszler. Johnny Gargano. Adam Cole. Fons Balor. Yeah, a lot of big names from NXT could be showing up here if they don't show up next week. Seriously, the entire NXT roster is going to be on the milk carton. So, that's what I got to say about that. All right. We are going to conclude the show, and I swear it's not going to take as long this time. Let's just go on over to this. Let's just get this over with. Trying to relive the past. Leave the memories alone. Okay. Picking up, if you didn't tune in last week on Wrestleview Weekly, thank you. Because we were going over every single pay-per-view from the entire decade of the 2010s that the WWE gave. And that included After the inception of the WWE Network, every NXT takeover, every special event like the Beast in the East or live from MSG, all of those. So, bear in mind, we are up to year 2018, so not as many, the final 2 years. But think about this, though. Through the entire decade, there were 188 WWE events. Pay-per-view, takeover, or otherwise. 188 of them. 48 of them happen in these final 2 years. 48 of them. So let's go and start it off. Take a sip of the sources. Why am I focusing in and out? Dude, I'm right here. I haven't moved. January the 27th, NXT TakeOver in Philly. This would be before Royal Rumble, where Ember Moon would defend her NXT Women's title against Shayna Baszler. Aleister Black versus Adam Cole in an Extreme Rules match. And Andrade would defend his NXT title against Johnny Gargano. Also, in this show, AOP would be defending their NXT tag team titles with their manager, Sean Ellering, in a shark cage above the ring. Not above the ring, but somewhere. He would be above the ring, going up against Fish and O'Reilly. Why, I don't know. That I didn't really understand. Randy B. Strong, Doug, get through this list because of full Royal Rumble autism kick in. Yeah. Oh, we are going to talk some Royal Rumble a little bit. I got to tease you guys for next week. The Royal Rumble of 2018. It was a 10-week build for Monday Night Raw and a 6-week build for SmackDown. Your winners of the Rumble were Shinsuke Nakamura and Asuka, and it was the first ever Women's Royal Rumble. Bork Laser defeated Braun Strowman and Kane in a triple threat match, but another match of note is AJ Styles defending his SmackDown title against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in a handicap match with Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan as the special guest referees. I think. Maybe. I don't know. It was a 10-week build for Raw. This was during the brand split. So, yeah. Elimination Chamber, a 4-week build for Raw going to February the 25th of 2018. Alexa Bliss would win the first ever Women's Elimination Chamber match, retaining her Raw Women's title. And Roman Reigns would win the Elimination Chamber match to face off against Bork Laser. Fastlane, 6-week build for SmackDown going to March the 11th. AJ Styles would win a 6-pack challenge defending his WWE title because we can only send the Elimination Chamber so far. And Charlotte Flair would defend her SmackDown Women's title against Wooby Wyatt. NXT TakeOver Nolans, April the 7th, 2018. Your card on this was Adam Cole defeating... he won a ladder match for the North American title. But then he would come back to team up with Kyle O'Reilly to defend their titles against AOP and the team of Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong in a triple threat match. This was when Bobby Fish destroyed his ACL and could not go. And so Adam Cole had to take his place. But this was also the match where Roderick Strong turned and went to Undisputed Era. Shayna Baszler would defeat Ember Moon to win back the NXT title and send Ember Moon to the main roster. Aleister Black would defeat Andrade for the NXT title and send Andrade to the main roster. And finally, Johnny Gargano and Tomato Ciampa would have an unsanctioned match. And this would begin from here on out, NXT TakeOver shows being just the Gargano Ciampa shows. WrestleMania, 6-week build for Raw, 4-week build for SmackDown. Bork Laser defending his title against Roman Reigns. That doesn't happen. Nakamura punches AJ Styles in the nuts when he loses his match against him. The Undertaker versus John Cena lasts only 20 seconds. Charlotte Flair defends her SmackDown Women's title and destroys Asuka's undefeated streak. And finally, Nia Jax defeating Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's title in a fabulous storyline that would only see Nia Jax turn heel, and everything got awkward from there. The first ever show emanating from Riyadh, South Dakota. They dare not mention where it's actually from because bad shit happens there. It is the greatest Royal Rumble, 50-man Royal Rumble match. We would have Bork Laser versus Roman Reigns in a steel cage match where it started all kinds of controversy and caused people to think, hey, I guess I better watch these shows because they might have storyline implications on Monday Night Raw. The Undertaker versus Rusev in a casket match. The internet went bonkers. Oh, Rusev doesn't like it that he's in a casket match and that he's going to be buried. Literally. Rusev hasn't been on TV in ages because he's been protesting this casket match. But the big thing to remember about this, and CJ brings it up, is we got the Titus World Slide, where he nearly destroyed himself sliding underneath the ring. If there were not any steel girders under there where he slid, he could have paralyzed himself. But thankfully he didn't, and we can laugh about it now. Backlash. 4-week build for both Raw and SmackDown, and the brand-specific events would end. No longer do we have a brand split. At least for a year. Backlash, Raw versus SmackDown, whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't matter. AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura in a no DQ match, which means you can punch your nuts however often you want to. Carmella defending the SmackDown Women's title against Charlotte Flair because she cashed in her Money in the Bank contract. And also, that was when we had the, the pedophile. Ellsworth. Yeah, that's what we had. Be back in 20, Doug. Bye, James. Yeah, no, don't worry, Lewis. I might be gone by the time you get back. No offense. NXT TakeOver Chicago. June the 16th. Ricochet versus the Velveteen Dream. Shayna Baszler defending her title against Nikki Cross. Aleister Black defending his NXT title against Lars Sullivan. And again, this is the Tomato Chomper Johnny Gargano show, but this time they had a Chicago street fight. Money in the Bank, 6-week build. Oh, by the way, totally forgot a match that happened at the WrestleMania. Ronda Rousey making her debut with the WWE roster, teaming up with Kurt Angle to face Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Totally forgot about that. That's kind of important. Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax for the Raw Women's title. Your Money in the Bank winners were Alexa Bliss and Braun Strowman. Bliss would cash in her contract during the Rousey-Jax match and become the Raw Women's champion, protecting Nia Jax. AJ Styles would defeat Shinsuke Nakamura in a last man standing match. Oh, and we do get, it's coming soon, CJ, it's coming soon. We do get the Unky Angle thing. That's coming up soon. The UK Championship Tournament was a 2-day event that went from June the 25th and 26th for NXT to determine a UK champ. Toni Storm would defeat Killer Kelly and Isla Dawn to win the number one contendership for the NXT Women's title. And finally, British Strong Style versus the Undisputed Era. I believe this is Tyler Bate, Trent Seven, and Pete Dunne versus Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong because Bobby Fish is still not feeling good with his bum knee. 4-week build for Extreme Rules on July 15th of 2018. Carmella defending her title against Asuka with an Ellsworth in a shark cage match where Ellsworth would still find a way to get around and win. and Carmella successfully defending her title, and the people going apeshit bonkers because Asuka is losing matches. Because heaven forbid wrestlers lose matches, after having an undefeated streak. Heaven forbid. Oh, by the way, AJ Styles would defend his WWE title against a very newly pushed crowd pleaser named Rusev. NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, the fourth time we're there. Ricochet would face Adam Cole for the North American title. Kairi Sane facing Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's title. Wins matter, says Randy. I don't believe you for a second. And, as always, Tomato Ciampa defending the NXT title against Johnny Gargano in a last man standing match, because this is the Tomato Ciampa Johnny Gargano show. SummerSlam, 5-week build going into August the 19th of 2018. Roman Reigns would go against Brock Lesnar again for the Universal title. Ronda Rousey would face Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's title and win it. Samoa Joe would face AJ Styles for the WWE title in the Daddy's Home, Call My Wife, Put the Kids to Sleep match. And Charlotte Flair would defeat Carmella and Becky Lynch to become the SmackDown Women's title. Helena. That's a weird fucking looking poster. That's weird. 4-week build going into Hell in a Cell for September the 16th of 2018. Your Hell in a Cell matches would be Randy Orton versus Jeff Hardy, where Jeff Hardy would just fall off of hanging from the top of the cage onto an empty table. And Roman Reigns defending the Universal title against Braun Strowman, where your guest referee was an unnecessary Mick Foley. Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch would go against each other for the Raw Women's SmackDown title. Lynch would win, and Flair would try to shake her hand, and Lynch would go like, "No, this is mine." Ronda Rousey would defend her Raw Women's title against Alexa Bliss. The first Australian event for the WWE happened on October the 6th for the Super Showdown. This is where we had the Triple H and The Undertaker. Again, we swear, this is the last time. We swear, this is not happening again. AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe in a no-count-out disqualification match where AJ Styles defending the WWE title. This would become a trend throughout a good portion of 2018 and going into 2019. If we need a quick title match for a exhibition show, call on AJ Styles and Samoa Joe. Finally, Daniel Bryan versus The Miz in a number one contendership match for that same title. October the 28th. 2018 is the first ever all-women's pay-per-view for the WWE Evolution. Ronda Rousey defending her Raw Women's title against Nikki Bella. Shayna Baszler defending her NXT title against going for the NXT title for a second time against Kairi Sane. Charlotte Flair facing Becky Lynch in a last woman standing match for the SmackDown Women's title. And we would have Toni Storm versus Io Shirai in the finals of the Mae Young Classic. This was, in my opinion, 2018, this was the best pay-per-view of the entire year, and it's nothing to do with the history, the historical ramifications of the pay-per-view. It was a fantastic, fantastic show. Crown Jewel, November the 2nd, 2018. Triple H and HBK facing the Kane and Undertaker in a tag team match. Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman for the vacant Universal title because Roman Reigns vacated it due to leukemia. And Shane McMahon versus Dolph Ziggler in the World Cup Finals, where it was supposed to be The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler, but ended up being Shane McMahon because The Miz got himself hurt. And thus we start the storyline with Shane being the best in the world. And Josh Hamilton becomes my idol because he has the greatest pipes in all of humanity. November the 7th, War Games 2. Shayna Baszler defending her NXT Women's title against Kairi Sane in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Aleister Black versus Johnny Gargano, because that involved the NXT title. Tomato Ciampa defending the NXT title against the Velveteen Dream. And in your War Games match was the team, the Undisputed Era, facing Pete Dunne, Ricochet, and the War Waiters. Yeah. Notice how I don't have a build for this show for Survivor Series because we had so many exhibition shows leading up to Survivor Series. Understand that Hell in a Cell on September the 16th was the last time that we had a story-driven WWE pay-per-view. Because we had Super Showdown, Evolution, Crown Jewel, and then War Games with NXT. 2 months of just stuff happening on TV, which a lot of people will say it was this time frame that the TV show was not very good. I wonder why. It's because we weren't building up to anything. We were building up to exhibition shows. Survivor Series, Bork Laser versus Daniel Bryan with their respective titles, and this is when Daniel Bryan became Captain Planet. Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair are respective champions. It was supposed to be Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey, but then Becky Lynch got her nose caved in by Nia Jax 1 week prior at the go-home show on Monday Night Raw. We're waiting for this to happen. And finally, Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura in a match that made people cream themselves. Starrcade, November the 24th, was when it was taped. It was aired on November 25th. You call it Starrcade, but it's in Cincinnati. Starrcade originated in the South, was in arenas like Atlanta, Greensboro, Charlotte. You know, I think at some point they were Auburn, Raleigh. But Cincinnati is where you want to go. The show would have steel cage matches involving AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe and Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose. 4-week build going into TLC, December the 16th of 2018. TLC matches were Braun Strowman versus Karen Corbin. And Asuka versus Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch in a triple threat for the SmackDown Women's title. Asuka would win that one. Randy says Ohio is to WWE, which North Carolina was to NWA and JCP. You're goddamn right. Goddamn right. Oh, by the way, AJ Styles would face Daniel Bryan, Captain Planet, for the Planets Championship, and Ronda Rousey successfully defended her Raw Women's title against Nia Jax. We are in the new year of 2019. In the year 2018, we had 21 WWE events. 10 of them were takeovers or exhibitions. And this is a trend that is as obnoxious as it ever could have been in 2019. Brace yourselves. In the year 2019, we had 27 WWE pay-per-views and events. 27. 14 of them were exhibitions. We had think about that. Think about that. Over half of the WWE events on the network were exhibitions or takeovers. That included the first ever NXT UK takeover show on January the 12th out of Blackpool, England. Fons Balor made an appearance to go against Jordan Devlin. Toni Storm defending the women's title against Rhea Ripley. Pete Dunne defending the title against Joe Coffey. But this would be where our Lord and Savior debuts. And that's Walter. Walter, could you whisper those sweet nothings into my ear just one more time?
Den ich meine ganze Karriere jemals hier nur erlebt habe. Liebe für euch. Das ist ja nichts Besonderes. Der war doch immer hier. Wisst, ihr seid der arroganteste Haufen Abschaum, den ich meine ganze Karriere jemals hier nur erlebt habe. Liebe für euch.
I swear that's going to be my ringtone. That is going to be my ringtone. NXT TakeOver Phoenix, January the 26th. Johnny Gargano versus Ricochet for the North American title. Shayna Baszler defending the women's title against Bianca Belair, who I love her theme song. Love her theme. And Tomato Ciampa defending the NXT title against Aleister Black before he ships off to the main roster. 6-week build for the Royal Rumble. Your Royal Rumble winners would be Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. What a coincidence! Earlier that night, Asuka would defend her SmackDown Women's title against Becky Lynch. Bork Laser defended his title against Fons Balor. Daniel Bryan, the Planet's champion, defeated AJ Styles again. And Ronda Rousey successfully defended her Raw Women's title against Sasha Banks. During this time period before WrestleMania, Ronda would have a swerve. In a taped event on January the 26th and 27th, we had it aired on February the 2nd, was the Worlds Collide event involving the NXT brands and 205 Live. This is where we saw Walter versus Danny Burch. Watch this match. Watch this match. Velveteen Dream versus Tyler Bate would be the tournament final in this show. But Walter versus Danny Burch. Watch this match. Then we had Halftime Heat, which aired on February the 3rd, aired during the Super Bowl halftime. It was Aleister Black, Ricochet, and Velveteen Dream in a 6-man tag versus Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, and Tomato Ciampa. These 6 had nothing to do with each other. They had no alignments at all. It was something to air on the WWE Network during the halftime show, and it was an incredibly fun match. Elimination Chamber, 3-week build going into February the 17th. Your Elimination Chamber matches would involve Daniel Bryan, the Planet's champion, successfully defending inside his, but Sasha Banks and Bayley would become your inaugural women's tag team champions in their Elimination Chamber match, which involved... Oh boy. Who were the teams? Tamina and Nia Jax. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Carmella and Naomi. I think. Yeah, Carmella and Naomi. The two other teams. Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan. And Iconics. Thank you, CJ. Forgot the Iconics. Yeah. So there were the 6. Oh, Christ. Ronda Rousey successfully defended her Raw Women's title against Whoopi Wyatt, and Karen Bourbon and Braun Strowman had a no disqualification match. 3-week build going into Fastlane March the 10th. Daniel Bryan, the Planet's champion, defended against Mustafa Ali and Kevin Owens in a triple threat match. CJ. Yeah, whenever we mention the Iconics, CJ always reminds me that I have to scream. And Mashoon reminds me that I always have to scream at the top of my... Hey, Kayla! Jesus Christ. You gotta be joking me! God, that hurts. That hurts so much. I can't wait to have our own place and have a studio here. I gotta pad the room so that doesn't hurt so much from the echo. Becky Lynch would face Charlotte Flair to win a spot in the WrestleMania match. And the Shield would defeat Karen Bourbon, Bobby Lashley, and Drew McIntyre. April the 5th, NXT New York TakeOver. Velveteen Dream defending the North American title against Matt Riddle. Volta wins the NXT UK title from Pete Dunne. Such a great match. Shayna Baszler defending her NXT Women's title against Io Shirai, Bianca Belair, and Kairi Sane. Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole for the vacant NXT title in a 2 out of 3 falls match because Tomato Ciampa relinquished it because his neck was screwed up. So there you go. WrestleMania 4-week build. Ronda Rousey's trip around the WWE world is complete. She's won a title. She's undergone a swerve. She's gotten her own events named after her. She's been in way more main events than any other female ever has been, and the internet hates her guts. You made the WWE world work, Ronda. You spanned it in 1 year. Good job. 4-week build. It would be a triple threat involving Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch in a winner-take-all match for the Raw and SmackDown titles. Karen Bourbon would send Kurt Angle off packing in his retirement match. Triple H and Batista had a no-holds-barred match for no reason whatsoever. We were made to think that it was a thing 5 months ago. We did not have the time span to remember that or the attention span for that. Seth Rollins defeated Bork Laser after slugging him with chairs. And Kofi Kingston defeated Captain Planet for the WWE title and made a lot of black people cry. April the 21st, The Shield's final chapter, also known as Dean Ambrose's farewell. Fons Balor would defeat Elias and retain his Intercontinental title, but finally the Shield would have their final match versus Karen Bourbon, Bob Lashley, and Drew McIntyre. CJ said he certainly cried with Kofi winning. I totally get it. It was awesome. I love that he won it. Looking back, but it's glad that he's back to where we're used to seeing him. We need a Ron Simmons is what we need, not a Kofi Kingston. We need a Ron Simmons. That guy's intimidating. 6-week build for Money in the Bank on May the 19th of last year. Your Money in the Bank winners were Bayley and Bork Laser. Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch would have a match for Lynch's SmackDown Women's title, but then Bayley would cash in and become the SmackDown Women's Champion. She has been since. Seth Rollins successfully defended the Raw Universal title against AJ Styles, and Kofi Kingston successfully defending the WWE title against Kevin Owens. We need a Mark Henry also is what we need, Randy. NXT TakeOver 25. This would be the 25th NXT TakeOver event and the first one that they've had within the Big Four era in the past 4 years. Shayna Baszler would defend her title against Io Shirai, and Adam Cole would win the NXT title from Johnny Gargano. 3-week build going into Super Showdown, but it's not in Australia this time. It's in South Dakota. Hey, do you like seeing two 50-year-old men in 120-degree heat try to wrestle? You're going to love this show because it's The Undertaker versus Goldberg, and man, does it not disappoint. By the way, Mansoor would win a 51-man battle royal this time around to surpass the greatest Royal Rumble of last year. Kofi Kingston successfully defending the WWE title against Dolph Ziggler, and Seth Rollins successfully defending the Universal title from Karen Bourbon. Stompin' Grounds, also known as the Shoe pay-per-view, had a 5-week build going into June the 23rd. Seth Rollins defending against Karen Bourbon in a no-count, no disqualification match where the guest referee was Lacey Evans. Becky Lynch successfully defended her title against Lacey Evans in Lacey Evans' first ever pay-per-view match after just prancing around and doing absolutely nothing, walking up and down the ramp for 6 months. Bayley successfully defended her SmackDown Women's title against Alexa Bliss. Evolve's 10th anniversary show on July the 13th featured Adam Cole defending the NXT title against Akira Tozawa. We would have Matt Riddle versus Drew Gulak in some kind of Evolve storyline type match involving their history. But one to look at is Brandi Lauren versus Shotzi Blackheart. Just a normal women's match. You wouldn't think anything of it. These two are now in the Performance Center under the NXT banner. 3-week build going into July 14th for Extreme Rules. Kofi Kingston defending his title against Samoa Joe. The Undertaker and Roman Reigns teaming up against Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre for no reason whatsoever. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch teaming up against Karen Bourbon and Lacey Evans in a winners take all match. They would win, but Bork Laser cashes in and is now your new Universal Champion. In a house show called Smackville out of Nashville on July the 27th, Bayley would successfully defend her SmackDown Women's title in a triple threat against Flair and Bliss. Kofi Kingston would successfully defend the WWE title against Dolph Ziggler and Samoa Joe. August the 10th of last year is NXT TakeOver Toronto 2. Velveteen Dream would defend his North American title against Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong. Shayna Baszler would defend her women's title against Mia Yim in a very weird match. And Adam Cole would defend his NXT title against Johnny Gargano in a 2 out of 3 falls match. SummerSlam, 4-week build. Seth Rollins wins back the Universal title from Bork Laser. Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, debuts against Fons Balor and sends Fons Balor back to NXT. Becky Lynch defends her Raw women's title against Natalya. Bayley successfully defends the SmackDown women's title against Ember Moon, who we never see again. That was the first push Ember Moon had gotten in 9 months. Charlotte Flair defeats Trish Stratus for no reason whatsoever. And Goldberg defeats Dolph Ziggler because he needs to redeem himself after wrestling in 120 degree heat in South Dakota. August the 31st, TakeOver Cardiff, NXT UK. Volta defends the UK title against Tyler Bate. Watch that match. Kaylee Ray wins the NXT Women's title from Toni Storm. And finally, Cesaro versus Ilya Dragunov. A very, very entertaining match. And I'm still trying to figure out who the hell this Ilya Dragunov guy is. Clash O Champions, 5-week build, September the 15th, 2019. If you want to make an old man look good, let Ziggles bump. You're right, Randy. 5-week build, Clash O Champions, September 15th. Seth Rollins defending the title against Braun Strowman, but the Fiend Bray Wyatt would make a run-in to protect Braun Strowman. Kofi Kingston defending his title against Randall Orton. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Bayley defending her title against Charlotte Flair successfully. Sasha Banks facing Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's title. 3-week build going into what was probably one of the most ridiculous pay-per-views that anyone would have seen in the past 5 years. Hell in a Cell of 2019. This was a 3-week build where within that 3-week build, SmackDown would premiere on the Fox network. Your Hell in a Cell matches, Becky Lynch defending her title against Sasha Banks, Seth Rollins defending the Universal title against Bray Wyatt. Yeah. Relapse. Yeah. Charlotte Flair defending the SmackDown Women's title against Bayley. And finally, Asuka and Kairi Sane becoming the brand new Women's Tag Team Champions, taking them from Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Somewhere around that time frame, we had the Iconics as Tag Team Champions. And those were fantastic times. Jama, we're nearing the end. Andrew says, whee! 4-week build going into Crown Jewel 4 out of South Dakota. Bork Laser would defend his Universal title, his WWE title against Cain Velasquez. Braun Strowman would face Tyson Fury for no reason whatsoever. Natalya would face Lacey Evans in the first ever women's wrestling match out of South Dakota. Immediately after that, you would not hear from those two ever. This is why we have Lacey Evans as a babyface now. And finally, The Fiend Bray Wyatt would win the Universal title from Seth Rollins in a Falls Count Anywhere match. War Games 3 NXT TakeOver on November the 23rd of last year. Fonz Balor returns to NXT to face Matt Riddle. Your War Games match was Tomato Chomper, Keith Lee, Double D, and Kevin Owens, Double D being Dominik Dijakovic, versus the Undisputed Era. All four of them healthy, mind you. Rhea Ripley, Candice LeRae, Tegan Nox, and Dakota Kai would defeat Shayna Baszler, Bianca Belair, Io Shirai, and Kaylee Ray in the first ever women's War Game match. Dry mouth. Survivor Series 4-week build for November the 24th. Triple threat where Shayna Baszler would face Becky Lynch and Bayley. Bork Laser would face Rey Mysterio in a no-holds-barred match because that's the only way Bork Laser can have matches. The Fiend Bray Wyatt would face whatever incarnation of Daniel Bryan this is. And finally, Adam Cole would defend the NXT title against Pete Dunne. It's the first time ever that the NXT title was defended on a WWE pay-per-view. House Show Starrcade, December the 1st. Where is this emanating from? It sure as hell wasn't from the South. It was Duluth. It was in Georgia. It was somewhere in Georgia, but it wasn't Duluth, Georgia, I think. Asuka and Kairi Sane defending their women's tag team titles in a fatal four-way, and Bob Lashley did things. I don't know what. I think it was against Rusev, involving Lana, stuff. You can tell this was where my wheels were coming off the hinges after preparing all of these images. Finally, a 3-week build for TLC. Bray Wyatt, sans Fiend, faced The Miz in a regular non-title match. Aleister Black faced Buddy Murphy. And your TLC matches were Karen Bourbon versus Roman Reigns, and the team of Asuka and Kairi Sane defending their women's tag team titles against Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. It is done. I have done it. All 188 WWE pay-per-views and events. The Tender Loving Care pay-per-view. Yes, Daniel. I know that I said in the description of this show about the programming ramifications for the WWE going forward. It has nothing to do with particular performers or particular titles, particular shows, or anything else. Throughout the decade of the 2010, we had the emanation of the WWE Network, a brand new TV contract with Fox, the insertion of NXT into major programming. Understand that during that decade, we went from 5 years of cumulative professional wrestling programming available on major television to 12 or sometimes 13 hours of programming. What will the 2020s bring? Well, right now, I'll tell you what the 2020s will bring to you, the WWE Network subscriber. You are going to have at least 12 or 13 pay-per-views. Regular WWE shows that are storyline driven on Raw and SmackDown. Bear in mind, there's a brand split now. So your builds are going to be different. You're going to have 12 to 13 pay-per-views from the WWE Network involving the television shows. NXT TakeOver will continue to be on the big four, but you'll have one or two straggling. Okay? You'll have them on the big four. You're going to have an NXT TakeOver happening sometime between SummerSlam and Survivor Series. Maybe. Also, you're going to have a lot of these exhibition shows. Their contract with South Dakota is going on for a very long time. So that means more Super Showdowns, Crown Jewels, you name it. You're also going to have more of these random house shows because it's what the test audiences and focus groups pulled on. It's what I said I would love to see. I'd love to see Starcades. I'd love to see house shows. Problem is, the house shows we're seeing, they aren't in their entirety. And they're very scripted. When I think of house shows, I'm thinking on a random Thursday night over at Independence Arena. That's what I'm thinking. Not, just random matches. No, that's not what we want. We don't want Smackville. We don't want live from MSG. We want actual house shows, that have the odd camera angle where you just have one camera angle looking down on the ring. Just one. No major entrances, no nothing else. Gosh, I got to show you pictures of, went to my very first one of my house shows that I went to was over there at Independence Arena over in Charlotte. SmackDown, I think the year it was 2003 was when I went. The main event at that house show was Undertaker Batista. Oh, good stuff. The best shows are house shows, but not house shows that are incredibly produced. And that's what you're going to get. A lot of produced house shows. You're going to get 4 or 5 NXT takeovers. You're going to get 2 NXT UK takeovers. You're going to get 3 Saudi Arabia shows and 3 random house shows. Ladies and gentlemen, you are going to get 27 or 28 events coming out of the WWE Network. 2 a month. Oh my God, Doug, that's so much wrestling. Oh my God, what am I going to do with all this ice cream? I love ice cream. Oh my gosh. Live with it. Deal with it. You don't have to watch all of it. Believe me, I didn't watch all of this. I didn't watch any of the South Dakota shows. Sure as hell didn't watch any of the house shows. You can pick and choose what you want to watch. That's what's fabulous about this. You're not obligated to watch any of it. Seriously, you're not. You might become a saner person if you don't watch all of it. There's nothing wrong with that. There are tons of people who are taking breaks right now. Don't blame them. A lot of them never come back, but when they do come back, it's coming up soon. It's coming up soon, guys. Okay? First, thank you all for stopping by to Wrestleview Weekly. We made it. It's not a 3.5-hour show. Whew. CJ saying he's still on a break. Don't blame you. But Royal Rumble times are coming up. You know what that means. Royal Rumble times coming up. That means the Fantasy Royal Rumble. That's right. The Fantasy Royal Rumble begins next week right here on Wrestleview Weekly. Don't know what the Fantasy Royal Rumble is? It's something that I started with Wrestleview, my podcast and column, a long time ago. And I hope for everyone who's taken part in the Fantasy Royal Rumble, it is so much fun. It makes the Royal Rumble so much more fun to watch with your friends. Try it with them. Put money on the line like you would fantasy football. Yeah. Fantasy Royal Rumble coming up. That comes up in next week's show. All of the details about the Fantasy Royal Rumble will be on the Facebook media page. Go on Wrestleview Media on the Facebook page. You'll get it all right there. But to fill you in on the Fantasy Royal Rumble, if you are familiar with it, NXT is going to be in it. NXT, Raw, and SmackDown is in it. The entire main roster is going to be involved in the Fantasy Royal Rumble. Tune in. Doug, what the fuck are you talking about with this? Believe me, it's fun. You can't wait for me to talk about it and everything. We're going to talk a lot more about Royal Rumble's times. Nafisa Dot, I know you're listening. You need to get in touch with me. You're supposed to be coming on here to be on the go-home show for the Royal Rumbles and make the picks. All right. Thank you all so much for stopping by. That was 32 ounces of a 14 ABV sour that I need to finish up. It's way better than what it was last week, that's for sure. Thank you all so much for stopping by. Make sure to watch Mike and Victoria covering Raw next Monday. They got, God, their daughter is so fucking adorable. God, her eyes and smile melt my heart. They melt my black fucking heart. Okay? Tune into them every Monday, guys. They're so much fun to watch and listen to. Okay? Making sense of the nonsensical. Thank you all so much for stopping by. Everyone goes, wee! I will see you here next week to talk Royal Rumble times, Fantasy Royal Rumble times. Who knows what the hell else? I don't know if the source is going to be strong enough, but I owe you guys some shots of tequila. And as always, just like Walter. Walter, could you sound me out of here, please? Just take me out of here, please.
Von meiner Freizeit genommen habe, hier ein Meet and Greet abzuhalten. Was habe ich dann gelesen? Nee, für Walter ist ja nichts Besonderes. Der war doch immer hier. Wisst, ihr seid der arroganteste Haufen Abschaum, den ich meine ganze Karriere jemals wieder nur erlebt habe. Liebe für euch.
As Walter does to me. Know when you're being sold to.